All right, good afternoon, everyone. We're going to begin with the citizens' request portion of our meeting today. We begin all of our meetings with citizen requests. Citizens have up to 3 minutes to address myself and members of the council who are present. If we're not able to get through all of the cards who wish to testify, then we will give citizens an opportunity to provide comment at the end of our formal meeting. The formal meeting will begin at 3 o'clock. Without further ado, we'll begin with citizen requests. The first card on citizen request comes from Pat Vint. Mr. Vint, good to see you again. Up to 3 minutes.
Yes, I am Pat Vint. For people that don't know, I got here in 1952 to Luke Air Force Base from Korea, but other than that, I need 45 minutes to make my complaints. Greg, I need 45 minutes. The other day, we were not invited, but we got into a meeting at the 12th floor at 3 p.m. on January 28th, and it was like a hushed meeting. There's where the auditors are going to be auditing the city of Phoenix for the third time in a row. We can't have that. It gets to be like the family that the city is. You can't have the same auditors auditing time after time, and they don't know that they've got to start at the top, because all the problems with the city of Phoenix starts at the top. If you read the top of this orange paper here about they wish that we would show up to participate, you are participating in the system. And it says here on the second paragraph that considered the most economical and efficient form of city government. That's not true, because all the problems as far as the audit, or the audit and the deficiencies and the retirement program is a disaster, and that all started at the top. We didn't have such a thing 20 years ago before Frank Fairbanks got appointed to be city manager. I remember he was making like $80,000 a year. So he stayed here 20 years, got up to 320,000 or in that area. What does he do? You pay him to do a job, he quit. So what they do, they put another city manager in there, David Cavazos. They give him up to 300 and some thousand, and he quits. Now, not only did they spike their pension, but they caused a terrible situation, because I never pass up a policeman, and you can verify that by the police that are here. I know that they want all they can get, and they should get everything that they were offered. But when you have this situation that it's going to bankrupt the city of Phoenix, and it's already unable to fund the pension funds here in Phoenix, not only in Phoenix, but I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, where Warren Buffett is the big wheel there, and his emails say he's looking for a disaster. So that's a major problem. And probably the disaster that he's thinking about, if they okay that pipeline, he owns a railroad that's carrying all the oil now. He'll pretty well be out of business, but we can produce so much oil and natural gas now that it'll take that pipeline plus all the railroads there is. So that's it.
That is the time. Thank you very much, Pat, for your testimony. Very much appreciated. Mr. City Manager, Mr. Vint did bring up the issue of the rotation of our auditors. We do follow a rotation process, and maybe we can get information, Mr. Vint, about how we rotate the auditors to address the problem that he brought up. Mr. Rusnick, you're number 2. John Rusnick, up to 3 minutes.
I've got a memo here between Alan Stevenson and Mindy Davis, and it's got, Rochelle, can you please revise this letter to remove the language about the dedicated access easement and add the language in from the email between Mr. Rapp and myself. You can just date it with tomorrow's date, and then we can resend it to him, and you can include the new copy in our special file. What I would like is I would like the city clerk to get me, in the Freedom of Information Act, get me copies of what's in this file This pertains to the problem that I have at 2936 East Turney Avenue. I'm sure I'm mentioned in the special file, so I'm kind of interested what's in this special file. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and maybe the city attorney can get with Mr. Rusnick. That was it's a public record request, so you have a right to those records. We just want to make sure that he gets the request in the proper format, so we can, I don't want it to be, he just made a public records request. I don't know if that's an appropriate way of going about it, but just make sure he gets the information so he can get that public records request, so we get him the information that he's seeking. Thank you very much, Mr. Rusnick. Leonard Clark? Leonard, are you here? Oh, there you are. Good to see you.
Thank you, Mayor and council members, and thank you to the veterans and people out there serving right now overseas, defending this country, so I have a right to even be here to speak. And I'm from Phoenix. I'm a native of Phoenix, born right down the street at Good Samaritan Hospital. And I just wanted to come up to you today because you guys are hard to get to sometimes. It's not your fault. You're trying to do a good job for our city of Phoenix. But I see a lot of young people on the street, and people, middle-aged people, people without jobs. And I've been concerned because I salute you, the mayor of Phoenix, if what you do can result in the ending of homelessness. I think that it's easy to sit and criticize while you're down in the arena with the blood and the sweat and all of that, as Teddy Roosevelt said. I hope I'm the one, that's why I'm being a critic, because I want to make sure that we push you to do that. But when I see a lot of the young folks, I wonder, could we get recruiters together? Could we get the Peace Corps? We make it hard, and let's just face it, a lot of families are broken now. Drugs have broken our community. It could be California, it could be Alaska, where Sarah Palin is from, it can be the city of Phoenix, methamphetamines, drugs, all of these things that are plaguing our society. And here in the great city of Phoenix, the 6th largest city in the United States of America, people will say, well, Leonard, they can go find a job. We can't do everything. Government can't do everything. And I guess that comes down to the crux of the matter and how I differ from some of my good conservative friends. I believe that we should put things together. We should encourage. I know the city of Phoenix has programs. When I lived in the city of Glendale before the cutbacks and fundings, there were recreation programs and all of these things, which I know we have. But instead of just enriching the private prisons and putting more and more people in prison, like the United States is the top jailer of people for methamphetamine, these young people who tell me, I can't go in the military because I've got a tattoo or I've got a record. We need to do more. I know you've had jobs fairs, but I think that the best thing to help our society, instead of having these people go off to jail and we spend a lot more money in the long run, is to encourage them to serve our society, our government, humanity, by serving in the United States Armed Forces or serving in the Peace Corps. For my brothers and sisters who say, hey, Leonard, we're not going to help people go in the military. Well, I differ with them in that, but I can understand where they're coming from. But what's wrong with the Peace Corps? You're going out to help people. So that was my main concern. I mean, I applaud you. If you're going to be a modern-day Pericles, if Phoenix is going to be the equivalent of Athens, let's not get too far and overreaching. Let's try to at least keep our feet on the ground. But I salute you for what you're doing. I'm just concerned because I know a lot of the homeless, and I know a lot of them, we get frustrated because we don't want to see them. And now we say that they're going to be housed. But I want to know on March 1st, when the county shuts down the homeless shelter just down the street, where are they going to go? Thank you, Mayor, for letting me speak in council.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clark. Appreciate your testimony. Ms. Barker?
Thank you, Mayor Stanton and City Council. Diane Barker, District 7. May not have agreed all with his policies, but Winston Churchill sure had some good quotes. It's a lie can get around the world quicker than truth can get its pants on. And I say that also for my Facebook friends, some of the stuff there that you can read. You know, it's a good social medium, but don't believe everything, that's said. I'm a big believer if the process is flawed to getting to the truth, you need to fix it. Our court systems are supposed to be there as getting to the truth, but they have proceduritis in so many ways. It's not about procedure, it's not about the billing, the billable order, because that gets in the way of justice. And what it's happened here, and unfortunately, it was raining, and I came in on the east door and slid and re-injured a hamstring. And no, it wasn't from doing any acrobatics. It was from some shoes that I had had. Well, anyway, I did contact, I see our city manager was nice enough to contact me about filing, he mentioned a claim. The thing is that you see what I have here? They're claims. It doesn't serve a citizen to go through the present claim process. I'm just seeing now, even here, that you all weren't here. My councilman isn't here. We don't feel, on the face, it looks like that the city wants to support the citizenry, and when I speak to you individually, it seems like you're all gung-ho. But really, the process is flawed. And until you get this citizen comment period here and get the claim process, I don't see how that you can, even through the city council process, is what happens is you give in, they said, submit your questions, and what it does, it comes back with the interpretation of the council saying this is what you said. And so I said, well, we still have some business to do. This is one of the latest emails. I'm not being so specific, but I have the specifics. I says, because these are the 3 questions that you asked me to submit, and I'm getting information back from 2 of them, and it's their interpretation. They should have taken what I gave and gave it back. Here are your questions, and these are our answers, and then we finally get to resolving it. I think that the day the city will be better is when, mayor and council, you will establish ethics policy for yourself so everybody can see that you're on the page for that, and that the citizens will be heard in a non-polarization type of thing that's outside of course in a mediation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Diane. That is the last member of the public to speak under citizen request. So we'll take about a 2-minute break and get started with our formal meeting right at 3 o'clock.